Merry meet and welcome to Psalmic Saturday here at Ariel's Corner. This is Ariel Gatoga and we are streaming live on YouTube. Moderating today on YouTube here are the lovely Honeypaw and the lovely Dre. Thank you so much, moderators. And thank you so much to everybody for joining us today for this Psalm spell, which we will get to in just a moment. We do have a premiere today at 11 a.m. Pacific. That's just, 40-something minutes from now. I hope you can join us for that. I did make it so that you can wait to the end of the exit music, and it should, if you're patient, sometimes it takes it a second, dump you right into either the landing page for the premiere or a link to it, depending on the device you're on. Other than that, if you want to make sure that you always know when we are live, when we're having premieres and when we have new uploads, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and when you hit that notification bell, make sure you choose the option all notifications. Otherwise, sometimes they'll just decide what notifications they think you might want. And sometimes YouTube doesn't get that right. Also, please make sure you like this video. It helps our algorithm quite a bit. Or it helps our place on the algorithm quite a bit, I guess is the better way of saying that. Our website is at arielscorner.com, arielscorner.com, and that's the hub where you can get all the freebies that we offer, and it's all free. The courses, the lectures, the guided meditations, the booklets, etc. And there's articles, all kinds of cool stuff over there. So give it a look, arielscorner.com. You'll notice on the footer of every page on our website, there are links to our social media, and you may want to check out the Discord server and or the private Facebook group. The Discord server is the best, in my opinion, of all of the community social media links that we have. The Discord community is built around giving support to people who study our courses and things like that. So give it a look. Also, the private Facebook group is another way to interact with us. Oh yeah, our shop is located at arielscornershop.com, arielscornershop.com. We also have a chat thread open right here on this stream, so please chat amongst yourselves. And if you happen to have a question for me personally, you can put it in that chat thread, and I should have time to answer questions if we have any, because this is not a very long psalm that we're working today. So again, thank you so much for being here, and let's get started. Today we are working Psalm 11. In Psalm Magic, we often hear of using Psalm 11 for triumph over adversity, overcoming fear, reversing evil, and driving away demons. Those are traditional uses for the psalm. I'm going to gear Psalm 11 today for calling on the law of cause and effect, calling karma into play. So if there's a lot of times, I hear people complaining that either some bad people are doing bad things to them and nothing's happening to them, or conversely, I do all of this stuff in my life, I do everything right, and nothing seems to work out for me. So we're just going to tune in to the law of cause and effect with the psalm today and see if we can't get things working the way that they are meant to. The way we work Psalm Magic is simple, easy, and effective. We take the psalm in question and we speak it out loud all the way through once without stopping. We call this an incantation. When we've finished with that incantation, we go back through that psalm and we consider each verse in turn. We search for those hidden occult meanings that lie behind all of those words. And while we are doing that, the searching and then also trying to apply what we find to whatever the situation is that we've brought to the psalm, we are taking those magic seeds of wisdom that we find in the psalm and planting them in the depths of our mind. And that mind is fertile ground for these seeds. And those seeds take root. They grow. They blossom forth, and they bear fruit after their kind. And that is what you and I are going to do together right now with Psalm number 11. In the Lord put I my trust. How say ye to my soul, flee as a bird to your mountain? For lo, the wicked bend... I'm going to say that again. It's like, I did not like the way I said that. In the Lord put I my trust. How say ye to my soul, flee as a bird to your mountain? For lo, the wicked bend their bow, they make ready their arrow upon the string, that they might privily shoot at the upright in heart. If the foundations be destroyed, what can the righteous do? The Lord is in his holy temple, the Lord's throne is in heaven. His eyes behold, his eyelids try the children of men. The Lord trieth the righteous, but the wicked and him that love violence his soul. But the wicked and him that love violence his soul hateth. Upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire, and brimstone, and an horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup. For the righteous Lord loveth the righteous. For the righteous Lord loveth righteousness. His countenance doth behold the upright. How nice to have a short psalm. Anyway. So when we are reading in the King James Version of the Bible, where it says Lord, in the original Hebrew, that says the Tetragrammaton, Yud-He-Vav-He. And Yud-He-Vav-He is considered by the ancient Hebrews, it was considered the initials for the ineffable name of God. And ineffable simply means unspeakable. And the reason we can't speak it is because you can't name that which is infinite. You can't make finite that which is infinite. That's the mystery behind the ineffable name of God. So it says the ineffable name, it F's the ineffable name several times here, 5 times. So it's using the speaking of the name of God as a way to build up momentum throughout the psalm. It says, "In the Lord put I my trust." Now, when we say the Lord, like I said, it's a symbol. The initials Yud-He-Vav-He, YHVH, is a symbol for that which is the one source, the one force, the one substance in all the universe. And that one source, force, and substance, the reason it's unnameable is because it's infinite, and it can't be conceived of. And the moment you name it, the moment you put any kind of image to it, the moment you really think of it as something unto itself, you are diminishing what it is, because it's unspeakable, it's unfathomable, and that's pure power, pure creativity. And the fact that this one force is for us means nothing can be against us. And that's why psalm magic is so powerful, because we are recognizing that each and every time we start a psalm, we orient ourselves to what this power is, and our success is assured. So in the Lord, I put my trust. So I'm putting all my trust in this one power. Now that makes sense. It's just practical, because if there is only one, we want to put our source in that rather than in something that isn't. Because anytime you put a separation, anytime you put a name to something, anytime you qualify something, you're making it less than what it is. And so we don't want to put our trust in something less than eternal, less than perfection, less than powerful. So in the Lord I put my trust. How say ye to my soul, flee as a bird to your mountain? So this psalmist, we don't know who the psalmist is talking to here. Let's just say it's a friend. Somebody that they're going through something and they want to see results, and the friend says, no, you better just go hide. You just better go hide, because nothing's going to save you in this situation. So we're turning away from that friend. We're turning away from what the world is telling us, what our egos are telling us, what our fears are telling us. No, I put my trust in the Lord. How say you to me, fly away, retreat, just give up? No way, I'm not doing that. For lo, the wicked bend their bow, they make ready their arrow upon the string, that they may privily shoot at the upright in heart. So we've talked about these kinds of people before, and they talk about them a lot in the Psalm, when these people that seem to be against everything that's good, that seem to be all in it for themselves. But in this case, it's important to understand that that is going on inside your mind. That's what the ego is. The ego mind is hiding at all times, trying to destroy you. It's the idea of self-destruction. And pretending that you don't have self-destructive tendencies is not the way to remedy this problem. Running away from it, like what the friend was telling them to do, is not going to help you. You don't want to just run away up to the mountains and just hope that everything is better, because that's, in AA, they call that pulling a geographic, meaning if I just move, then the alcoholism will go away. All my problems will go away, because the alcoholism just lives in New York. It lives in California. So if I move to another coast, then all will be well. And you know what happens when you try to run away from your problems, and when you try to run away from your ego, you bring it with you. So you can't run away from this. You have to turn and face it. And so what we're turning and facing is our own tendencies towards self-destruction here. And that is why it's important when we're talking about the law of cause and effect. It's not blaming the victim when we say, if you're having things in your life going on that you don't want, you have to look at yourself first. That doesn't mean we're taking everybody else off the hook. It's just for this, today, this exercise, we're talking about ourselves first, because we are the primary cause in our lives. Excuse me, we are the primary cause in our lives. So we have to take care of our own side of the street first. That's what we're doing here. So we're looking within ourselves. If the foundations be destroyed, what can the righteous do? Now, this is a rhetorical question. It's, if everything's ruined, what am I supposed to do? And it's an important question to ask ourselves. If I don't have anything to hang my hat on, if I can't trust in the infinite, then where am I supposed to go? If I can't trust in the one source of the universe, then what am I supposed to do? So that's why we're not running up into the mountains. That's why we're not running away from our problems, because we can't look to the world to solve our problems. We can't just change location to solve our problems. We have to look to the infinite. And where does the infinite reside? Within us. Within us. And that is the law of cause and effect. What causes are we activating? The causes of our ego mind or the causes of the infinite? It says the Lord is in his holy hemp. No, it does not say that. It does not say anything about hemp. The Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord's throne is in heaven. His eyes behold, his eyelids try the children of men. Now we're talking about the Lord as the law of cause and effect. So the Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord is always available. The Lord is always where the Lord is, in perfection. And the Lord's throne is in heaven, meaning the causative plane. His eyes behold, his eyelids try the children of men. What you're getting back is what you're giving out. And that's how the eyelids try the children of men. What are you doing? What are you thinking? What are your thoughts? What are your attitudes? What are your intentions? If you don't know because you can't keep track of your thoughts, that's okay. We have an entire physical universe here to keep track of your thoughts for you. So you can just look. What are my thoughts about myself? Well, look to your bank account. Look to your relationships. Look to your health. Right? Now, again, we're not saying it's your fault if you have problems in those areas, but those areas do highlight not only what's going on in the world, but primarily in this psalm, what your attitudes are, what your thoughts are, what the causative principles in your mind are. And it's really important not to blame ourselves, not to get down on ourselves, but to look, because it's so good to know. Oh, I see. I have a ton of negative hatreds toward this person. No wonder I'm having trouble with them, or no wonder I'm having trouble with whatever it is that's going on in my life. So let's at least try it. Let's at least let go of all of those hateful thoughts and see if things don't clear up for me, right? Just it's when you hear that the causative plane is inside in the invisible world, and that if you have things going on in your life that you don't like, that there might be things going on inside your mind contributing to those things, that's not meant to be mean. It's meant to be good news, because that's something you have control over. So go with what you have control over first. The Lord trieth the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence, his soul hateth. So love and hate. It's not that the Lord loves some people and hates some people. It's talking about the principle of cause and effect. The effects that you don't love are a result of a cause that wasn't in alignment with the infinite. When you have effects that you do love, that means that there are causes that are in alignment with the infinite. It's not that the Lord is up in a throne in heaven throwing down blessings and curses, throwing down blessings and curses. Everything's built into the nature of things. That's called perfection. So whatever you do, it seems to come back to you. It seems to return to you. It seems like we live in a world of boomerangs and comebacks. But that's because we live in the world of time and space. In order for there to be a screen of space, there also has to be time. So if you want to have a three-dimensional experience, you have to allow for time. In the upper planes, cause and effect is simultaneous. In the three-dimensional world, because we have time, because we have time, it is sequential here. So whatever is happening seems to be coming back at a later time, but that's just in order to accommodate our ability to have space. So when we want to live in this world, we have to allow for the fact that things take time. That's another blessing, because it gives you time to change things before it fully manifests. Right? When you start to learn how to keep track of your emotions, how to keep track of your thoughts, how to keep track of your energy field, you can say, ooh, I've got really negative energy focused at something. I want to change that before it starts to manifest. So that's a blessing here that we have time. Sometimes people are so upset because it takes time for their spells to manifest, but that's also a blessing, because as you get more sensitive to the causative plane within you, you can tweak things before they manifest, and you can avert manifestations that you don't want. Imagine how great that is when you can avert a manifestation that you don't want prior to it materializing. That's a blessing. Upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire and brimstone, and an horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup. Boy, that sounds mean. And it's a great thing to know when you're asking for retribution and things like that. It's like, oh, that feels good, doesn't it? When somebody's been so awful to you, and you can call upon the Lord, and you can maybe use this psalm for that purpose, so that you can see the brimstone and all of that raining down upon your enemies. That does feel good. But in this context, that's not what it's talking about. In this context, it's talking about all that brimstone that you experience. You have a part in it. In fact, you have the ability to completely undo it all. You can undo all of it, according to this psalm, because the Lord hates, meaning, loves and hates here is talking about comeback. It's talking about manifestation. It's talking about effect. So you're going to get the effect of your energy. And so if you don't like the effects, it's telling you you have an opportunity to change that. People get very upset. I didn't have anything to do with this. Oh, well, okay. Maybe you didn't, but you do now. Okay, let's not worry about why this happened. What did I do to deserve that? What did I ever do to deserve this is not a good question to ask yourself. That's an ego question to keep you stuck in the problem. The question is, where is my energy now that I can change this? Where am I on the causative plane right now so that this can be changed? Upon the wicked, I already said that, Ariel. For the righteous Lord loveth righteousness. His countenance doth behold the upright. Okay, it's talked about his face and his countenance, and it's talking about the fact that when you are in your right mind, that's what righteousness is. When you are in your right mind, you and the infinite look at each other face to face. You have a face-to-face experience. You do anyway. You do anyway, even when you're not in your right mind. It's just when you're not in your right mind, you're projecting your own stuff onto the face of God. And then it seems like God's punishing you because you're projecting all of that onto the face of God. But in reality, when you're in your right mind and you are at peace and you're allowing the causative plane to be clear and clean and allow the infinite causes to occur through you, you and the infinite are at one, face to face. And you know exactly what the infinite looks like, and the infinite knows exactly what you look like, and you have a perfect relationship. And when you have a perfect relationship, then all of your effects start to be peaceful. And even the ones that aren't so peaceful, you are capable of dealing with them quickly, easily, and efficiently so that they don't cause you the consternation that you were having before. This psalm gives you so much power. It gives you so much power over the effects in your life. That's not the right way to say it. This psalm shows you how much power you have over the effects in your life. It's a beautiful psalm. And if you can use it to understand your place in the causative plane, then you are reclaiming your power and your ability to manifest all kinds of wonderful things in your life, and to also eliminate all kinds of horrible things in your life. And in this day and age, when we have so many manifestations that are freaking people out, that's an immensely valuable power to have. Now, everybody ultimately has this power, but very few people are going to use it. Very, very few people are going to calm themselves enough to be able to understand that and use it. And if you can do that, you're going to be so ahead of the game, and you're going to be in a really, really good place. So I encourage you to work with this psalm. And whatever you've brought to this psalm, make sure that you keep coming back once a day and working this same magic on that until you get a sense of peace and certainty about the situation. And when you get a sense of peace and certainty about the situation, that's an indication to you that your spell has been cast, and you don't have to work on it anymore. And you can also use this psalm more generally. And I don't always like to do a lot of that because I think it's good to have an object, a goal. But for right now, I think in terms of just clearing and cleansing the mind and understanding our place in the causative plane, just working on it on its own is immensely powerful in this day and age, in this time that we're living. And I recommend doing that as well. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I so appreciate you. Until next time, blessed be. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. How does one stay stronger than their ego? You're already stronger than your ego. You are stronger than your ego. That's why you're going to outlive your ego. Your soul is very strong. It's just that we don't remember that we have choice. The ego has no power. The ego has zero power over you, except for the power you give it. And the power is the power of decision. And people tend to be very lazy with their minds because nobody taught them any other way. So people are very indulgent in mind wandering and ruminating and worst case scenarioing and misusing the causative world and the causative principle. And you don't have to be that way. You don't have to. None of us do. We have in each and every moment the opportunity to take back our mind and to decide what we want to think. And the ego can't make you do anything. It can tempt you. It can tempt you. And that's its big thing, is temptation. And the only reason it wants to do that is to distract you, because its goal is self-destruction and it's insanity. Because if you think about it, if you are destroyed, then it's destroyed. But it's insane. So it doesn't care. It just wants to prove that you are separate from your Creator and that you are all alone and that you are isolated. And it does that by reinforcing the thought forms of isolation and separation. And as you recognize that for what it is, as you just notice it, and you notice the games that the ego plays on us, you realize I don't have to do any of that. I have a choice in the matter. And the ego has absolutely no power over you other than what we give it. But the ego has no power, period. The ego will die. And your body will die, but you won't. You're not going to die. What are your thoughts are more feeling hated versus hating others? Okay, I don't understand this question. What if your thoughts are more feeling hated versus hating others? I get it now. Like feeling like you give love but receive hate. Well, that's also something that you have control over in your mind, because that's another kind of personal law that the ego has given you. So that, no matter what you do, you're going to love, and you're not going to get it in return, and it's going to show you a lot of evidence to support that. But you can make a new choice. You can make a new choice and say, I'm loved by the infinite, first and foremost. I am a child of love. I am pure love. And if other egos don't love me in the way that I want them to, that's something that's not under my control. That's something I can't control. I can't control you loving me and you loving me and you loving me. But what I can look at is that the ego is choosing people for me that it has a pretty good idea aren't going to reciprocate. So for whatever reason, the ego has decided that that's the game we're playing, and it's going to tempt me into wanting something from somebody that won't be able to give it to me. And you know what that's like. We all know what that's like, going after people that are unavailable, going after people that are going to be mean to us, going after people. And in the moment, we don't think we know how they're going to be. But if we look back, honestly, it's just like, I kind of do get attracted to those kind of people. I am kind of attracted to people that aren't good for me. I am kind of attracted to situations that aren't good for me. That's the ego's self-destruction. So you can destroy that. You can absolutely destroy that by saying, I am a child of love. I am the force of love itself. And I am now open and receptive to being shown by the infinite, by guide, where to go, where to give my love, where to extend love, and where to look for love, rather than allowing my ego to keep me stuck in this game of seek but don't find. That's the ego's game. Seek but don't find. Love but don't get loved. So yeah, it's awful, isn't it? It really is kind of sucky how sick our ego minds are. But it's okay, because it's not the truth of who you are. It's not who you are. And you are lovable. And there are people that want to love you. It's just that for whatever reason, you're stuck in going after people in situations that aren't reciprocating. And you're going to make a new choice. You're going to make a new choice and say, I'm not doing that anymore. And what happens when we make that new choice is we start getting indicators right away. Maybe not this person. Maybe not. Maybe don't spend so much time with this person, right? I know that a lot of those so-called narcissistic behaviors, they go after people that are starved for love, and then they go and love bomb them so that they can be mean to them later. They pick up on who's starved for love and say, oh, I know what they want. And so then they just throw a bunch of everything that you think you want so that you fall for them. And that doesn't only mean fall for them romantically. It can be falling for them as friends, falling for them as business associates, whatever it is. And then they turn on you. And No, we're not saying it's your fault that that happened. We're not saying that they're off the hook for doing that. But we are saying that the ego is in charge of that. It knows the kinds of people to go after. It knows the kinds of situations that are going to cause you problems. So it keeps you stuck in that. So as you start to detach from your ego, as you learn how to take more charge and control of your mind and your energy field, and become less vulnerable to that kind of thing, you'll notice that happens less and less and less in your life. And there's all kinds of ways to do that. Psalm magic is a good way. Meditation, aura cleansing, psychotherapy. I love psychotherapy for those kinds of patterns. Those kinds of patterns are very challenging, I know, but you're not alone. We all have them. Great questions. What did I just do? Oh, here we go. Okay, well, that's it on the questions. Thank you so much. Those are great questions. And thank you so much to the amazing moderators, Honeypaw and Dre. And I hope everybody is going to be around in about 10 minutes for the premiere. And that we see you over there. Thanks again, and we'll see everybody, I hope, also tomorrow for our live stream lecture. Until next time, blessed be.